What's up, guys? This is Jeremy with Backcountry and Beyond. In case you haven't already noticed, no, I'm not at the store today. We're actually in my backyard right now. So in case you were wondering, no, I don't just cook on the Traeger at work. I also cook on them at home a lot, every chance I get. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We got a pretty special recipe for you today. We're going to do some smoked mac and cheese. It's a personal favorite of mine. I know everybody loves mac and cheese. If you know somebody who doesn't love mac and cheese, that's fine. They're not invited to the party. But anyway, we got some cooking on the stovetop to do before we move to the smoker. So let's get straight to it. Let's head on inside. Alright, so here we are at the stovetop. I've currently got my cast iron 12-inch skillet preheated over medium-low heat. And for the first step here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook some of this jalapeno. I'm going to saute this a little bit. This is about one whole jalapeno, diced, of course seeded and veined as well. I like a little bit of heat in my mac and cheese. If you don't like the heat, that's fine. Just skip this step. But again, medium-low heat. I've got just a little dab of butter here. And I'm going to use this to saute this fresh diced jalapeno. Just toss that right in there. We're just going to saute this just for a minute or two. Just want to cook that jalapeno down just a little bit. Get it nice and soft. Alright, those are looking pretty good. So we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to toss in a half a stick of butter. It's going to be about 4 tablespoons of butter there. Go ahead and get that melting down real good. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add in our flour. This is just some all-purpose flour. This is about 4 tablespoons. I turned the heat up just a little bit. We're almost medium heat. And we're just going to whisk this in until we get kind of a nice little paste. Just make sure you keep whisking. And that's looking pretty good now. You can see behind the whisk it leaves kind of a trail there. It's starting to thicken up. It's looking pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and add our half and half in here. And this is going to be 2 cups of half and half. Just go ahead and pour it right in. And it's very important here, you've got to make sure that you keep whisking constantly. You don't want to burn anything to the bottom of the pan. We're just going to keep whisking this in until it starts to bubble. That's what we're looking for right there. So now it's time to go ahead and start adding in our cheese. First off, we've got half a block of cream cheese here. So that's going to be about 4 ounces of cream cheese. We're just going to go ahead and whisk that in. And keep whisking it until it's melted down. Also, don't forget, you need to go ahead and reduce your heat now. We're going to go ahead and take this on down to a low heat. Alright, we've got our cream cheese melted down pretty well. Now we're going to add the rest of our cheese. I've got approximately 1 ton of cheese right here. No, seriously though, this is about probably 4.5 to 5 cups of cheese. So I've got about 3 cups of white cheddar in here, and I've got about 1.5 cups, maybe 2 cups of Gouda cheese. Now I grated this cheese myself, which I highly recommend. Anytime time allows for it, it only takes a few minutes. Just get block cheese and just grate it yourself. It's going to be so much better. Just trust me on that one. But anyway, yeah, that's about 4.5 to 5 cups of cheese. Use whatever you want. I'm using white cheddar and Gouda cheese, and we're just going to start dumping that right in there and whisk it in, just like we did with our cream cheese. We're still going to stay over a low heat here, and we're just going to keep whisking until everything is nicely melted, and we don't want to see any lumps in there. I'm just going to go ahead and dump this all right in there and just keep on rolling. Alright guys, that's looking pretty good right there. We've got a nice consistent cheese sauce. There's no lumps. So we're going to go ahead and add in our noodles, and go ahead and turn the heat off. Don't need the heat anymore at this point, but you do want to go ahead and get your noodles added in pretty quick so they can mix in with this melted cheese mixture. This is 1 pound of elbow macaroni. We're not going to be showing you how to cook macaroni today. There are directions on the box for that. Now you can cook this macaroni the night before if you want. Just make sure that you toss it in some oil, some olive oil or whatever. Here lately I've been using this pecan oil. I love this stuff. It's really awesome. Check it out. Anyway, we're going to add this in. Now, it's also very important, make sure you cook your macaroni al dente. You don't want it to be too cooked before you do this, because we're going to put this on the smoker and it's going to continue to cook for a while. So make sure and cook your macaroni noodles al dente. You don't want them to be overcooked. So I'm just going to dump these all straight into the skillet with my cheese sauce. And we're just going to start folding it in. Now bear in mind, your skillet is going to start getting kind of full at this point. That's no big deal. Just be careful. Just fold this in until everything is well incorporated. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I am hungry already. This looks amazing. I can't wait to eat some of this. Alright, so last thing we need to do before we take this out to the smoker, we need to get our crumble topping ready. So we're going to go with some panko breadcrumbs. This is about 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to mix that in with some Traeger pork and poultry rub. I find this works great with this recipe. It's a nice sweet rub and it just goes really well. There's no measurement on this. You're just going to do this to taste. I'm going to probably put a couple tablespoons in there. Something like that. I think that's going to be good. We'll mix that up a little bit and see how it looks. I like to use a fork for this. I just feel like fork works best for this. I'm going to put a little bit more rub in there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and last but not least, melted butter. And that's about 2 tablespoons of butter melted down. Just going to drizzle that over our breadcrumb mixture. Go ahead and give that a good mix again. You don't want it to be clumpy, you want it to be well mixed. Make sure you get everything well incorporated here. And that looks beautiful. So let's go ahead and sprinkle this all over the top. Just try to get an even layer all across the cheese. You want everything to be covered in this beautiful breadcrumb pork and poultry melted butter mixture. Alright guys, that's it. We're ready for the smoker. So we're just going to leave this in the skillet just like it is, uncovered. We're going to take this straight to the smoker and we'll see you outside. Alright guys, we're back out here at the smoker. We're cooking on my Pro 575 today. I've got the grill preheated to 225 degrees, so we are at smoking temperature. We're about to throw this mac and cheese straight on the grill. It's going to smoke for at least 1 hour. We're not going to open the lid. We're going to let it smoke. Might even let it smoke for 2 hours. Just depends on how I'm feeling, but definitely at least 1 hour. Alright guys, as you can probably tell, it's getting pretty dark out here. It's starting to get kind of cold outside. I've had this mac and cheese on the smoker for about an hour and a half. I'm just about ready to take it off, but just one last step before we take this off the grill. We're going to go ahead and crank the temperature up. We're going to set this to about 375. We're going to give that about 10 to 15 minutes to just kind of bake at a higher temp. We want it to be nice and hot and bubbly when it comes off the grill, and then we're going to be ready to eat. Alright guys, I just brought the mac and cheese in off the smoker, and check it out. Look at that beautiful landscape of cheesy, bubbly deliciousness. I can't wait to try this. If you haven't tried smoked mac and cheese yet, you really got to try it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's absolutely amazing. Look at that. Oh, it's going to be so good. That's amazing. Little bit of kick from the jalapeno. Nice little crunch from the topping. Got a nice little brown color on top. Just there at the end. We finished it off at about 375 for just about 10 or 12 minutes. Just enough to give it some nice, beautiful color. Absolutely amazing. You have to try this. I promise you won't regret it. Be sure to check us out. If you're on YouTube, check us out on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, check us out on YouTube. We're also on Instagram. We also have an online store that recently launched, backcountryandbeyond.com. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure and tune in next time. We'll have more awesome recipes, more product overviews, more grill tip videos coming for you guys. See ya.